Have you ever carried anger for so long that it became part of your identity? This is the story of Evelyn Parker, a woman who held on to bitterness until it nearly swallowed her whole. Evelyn grew up in a quiet neighborhood, raised by a hard-working mother. Her father wasn't in the picture, and for most of her teenage years, Evelyn blamed him for everything: her struggles, her sadness, her insecurities. She believed life cheated her, and someone needed to pay for it. As she got older, that bitterness hardened. Evelyn became successful, smart, sharp-tongued, financially stable, but emotionally guarded. Friends admired her strength, but no one knew the storms she carried. Every time her father's name came up, her chest tightened like a knot she could never loosen. "Why should I forgive a man who abandoned me?" she would say. "Why should I be the bigger person?" Years passed. At 35, Evelyn received news that her father, Richard Parker, was in the hospital. He was weak, frail, and didn't have much time. A relative begged her, "Just see him once. He keeps asking for you." Evelyn refused. Days went by, and she tried to ignore the news. But one night, she sat alone in her apartment, staring at her reflection. When was the last time she truly felt peace? She had money, she had status, she had everything except rest in her heart. She whispered into the empty room, "Why am I still angry?" The next morning, she finally visited the hospital. Richard's eyes softened the moment she saw him. "Evelyn, you came." She stood stiff, arms crossed, protecting her heart like a fortress. Richard didn't make excuses. He didn't beg. He simply said, "I don't deserve your forgiveness. I know I hurt you. I was young, afraid, and foolish, but I never stopped thinking about you. I've spent years hoping you'd live a better life than I did." His voice cracked, not from weakness, but regret. For the first time, Evelyn saw him, not the villain in her head, but a flawed human being, a man who failed, made mistakes, and paid for them in silence. Her walls trembled, but still her pride resisted. She left without hugging him. A week later, Richard passed away. At the funeral, Evelyn stood over the coffin, tears burning her eyes. She realized something painful. Her anger outlived the man she aimed it at. The weight she carried was never on his shoulders, it lived on hers. Forgiveness wouldn't erase the past. Forgiveness wouldn't change what happened. Forgiveness wouldn't make everything perfect. But forgiveness would finally unlock her from emotional prison. Months after his death, Evelyn visited a quiet beach. She brought a small handwritten note. "I release what I cannot change. I choose peace. I forgive, not for you, but for me." She let the paper drift into the waves, and for the first time in decades, her chest loosened, her breath deepened, her shoulders softened. She finally understood. Forgiveness is not about weakness. Forgiveness is not approval of wrongdoing. Forgiveness is choosing not to let pain control your future. Evelyn walked away from the water lighter, not perfect, not healed overnight, but free enough to begin again. Because she learned the greatest truth: forgiveness doesn't change the past, but it transforms your future. Let me tell you, anger chains you. Bitterness drains you, but forgiveness releases you. It isn't about letting others win, it's about letting yourself live. Forgiveness is strength. Forgiveness is freedom. Forgiveness is peace.